The great American skyscrapers become a part of the fastest growing new industry in the United States. Television, the fascinating shortwave medium of sight and sound. Atop the big towers are television transmitting antennas, each of them sending out millions of electrical impulses a second to direct a stream of electrons on distant television screens. Because the ultra-shortwave radio vibrations do not travel far beyond the horizon, the antennas have to be high to cover a large area. Thus, the tall buildings in America's cities become natural elevations from which to send this modern means of communication and entertainment. But the other end of the circuit, the receiving sets in countless homes, is perhaps the most important. For although the technical side of television has long been known to scientists, this new medium will open new horizons in education and entertainment to all. From apartment buildings to trailer camps, television is now penetrating into every walk of American life and to a large part of the American countryside. 2 million new sets are being produced every year. For Americans, as sports-minded as any other people, one of the biggest things in television programming is athletic events. Television cameramen covering the games from several angles capture all of the highlights for the fans who can't be in the stadiums. Baseball, America's #1 sport, and one which has a season running for half the year, is #1 on television too. But today, you no longer have to be in the grandstand to see and hear what's going on. The technicians of television have provided the eyes and ears so that the faraway fans can follow what is happening the very instant it is doing so. From remote pickups, all of the play as it is going on is immediately transmitted to thousands of homes. Seated comfortably in the living room, a family can watch each thrilling move the instant it takes place. These two boys hope to be big league stars themselves someday. They don't miss a bit of the play on the field. Not everyone can squeeze into a stadium which holds people merely by the thousands. Television holds them by the millions. The athlete's audience is vastly increased. Horse racing is also high in U.S. sportsdom and high for television cameramen too. Here again, complete coverage is afforded the viewers, in this case men who have stopped briefly at a local club. Having only a few minutes to spare, they can easily see that certain race and especially that certain horse. The sport of kings, and brought with all of its excitement miles away from the racetrack. A major segment of the mass television audience is children, and for the youngsters, what else is better than magical make-believe? The wonderful animals and characters of the puppet shows have an eternal charm. It's the same for the television kids of today as it was for the boys and girls of 100 years ago. Besides entertainment for children, television is also valuable for educating them. Already it is serving in classrooms and schools, and its uses for teachers are limitless. To run this gigantic new industry, many, many people are required, and thousands more will be needed as television daily grows larger. Everywhere, U.S. educators are preparing to fill that need. Here in a class at N.Y.U. University, young men who hope for careers in the technical side of the industry learn how television is actually transmitted and received. They study all of the complex equipment, beginning with the sensitive iconoscopes that pick up an image so that it can be ultimately turned into pictures on a television screen. Other classes are necessary for still another side of the television business, and that's the side before the television camera, the performers, writers, and directors. They too must have scientific knowledge, but for a different purpose. In this class, conducted by N.Y.U. University and a major television studio, men and women who plan to work in the creative fields of the new medium learn firsthand about the tools of their trade, the image orthicons, lights, microphone booms, all of the elaborate paraphernalia that is necessary to produce a television show, whether it be a simple sport or news event or a full-dress production within the studio. In the United States, television, like radio, is a matter of private enterprise and as such is very competitive. With this competition in mind, technicians and cast alike strive to attain a flawless production. Tonight, this television workshop rehearses a play of its own. One of the instructors assigns various students to cameras, lights, and other pieces of equipment and advises them carefully as to just how the director wants the production shot, from what angles and at what time, and so on. Meanwhile, the director himself is at work with his actors. An all-student venture, even tonight's play has been written by a member of the class. Unlike the theater, where there is usually time for weeks of rehearsal, in television there is generally only 12 hours of preparation for actors. In television plays, every night is opening night. And then the show goes on. The entire production is now in the hands of the director, who must handle his co-workers and their television gear with every bit of skill. What is more, he has to use them within tight restrictions of space and time. What the television audience sees, of course, are only the players, who are on their own now and must be letter perfect. Behind the scenes, there appears to be chaos. Actually, it is a highly skilled concentration of students and equipment, with each tense in the knowledge that their production is now on the air. The director controls and coordinates the lights, cameras, microphones, floor manager, announcer, and sound engineers. He's somewhat like the conductor of an orchestra, but with the added disadvantage of having to worry about a clock, since his show has been allowed only so many minutes on the air. A high point of the students' drama has been reached, and both cast and crew concentrate on getting the best melodramatic effect out of the scene. This, of course, is not a professional troupe or crew. However, these students are working very seriously at gaining experience. For it is with these eager people and thousands of others like them that the future of television rests. Theirs is an industry that was commercially begun in the United States less than 10 years ago, but already offers unlimited opportunities in both technical and creative fields. As an example, this is another television cameraman who is covering a United Nations assignment. Here, from the site of the new United Nations Center in New York, television carries to the millions of far-off people the ceremonies that mark its dedication. President Truman was seen as well as heard in homes and schools in countless communities across the land. The eyes and hopes of the world were here as United Nations Secretary General Trygve placed the 3-ton granite cornerstone inscribed in English, French, Chinese, Russian, and Spanish. With its sensational power for education and entertainment, television has become a true phenomenon of 20th century USA.